You made the heavens, planted the earth, gave us stars for direction. But what was it worth if we don't have love? Oh, your perfect love. You filled the oceans, painted the sky, gave us each other. So tell me why, why we're lacking love. Oh, why we're lacking love. Love. Oh, can't you see the darkness trying to divide? Yeah, you know it's up to us to keep shining bright and let our hearts stay lifted high. Oh, can't you see the darkness trying to divide? My Lord, you know it's up to us to keep shining bright and let our hearts stay lifted high. Oh, you can prophesy, speak in the tongues you made. But if you don't have compassion, how will they understand that we were made from love? Oh, we were made from love. Oh, yeah. Oh, can't you see the darkness trying to divide? My Lord, you know it's up to us to keep shining bright and let our hearts stay lifted high. Oh, can't you see the darkness trying to divide? Oh, you know it's up to us to keep shining bright and let our hearts stay lifted high. Time to spread more love. Oh, perfect love. Supernatural love. Your love.
Good morning. Welcome to Spirituality Gone Wild. I am WG, and we know we love true. The Osborne love. Make sure you go and support our local artists. You all know what time it is. It's that time. It's time for a Cuppa Grata. Yes, it is. With a shot of expression and 2 squirts of reality. Today, I have a co-squirt that's going to blow your mind. Like, not just blow your mind. I'm telling you, she's going to teach you how to expand your mind, go into another consciousness, learn how to jump timelines today. What, you can bend spoons, like, for real? Yeah. There's like, stopping time. We're going to talk about stopping time. There's so many things. I'm so excited. It's like being in, anybody remember Toys R Us from way back in the day? If you're older like me, you probably do. And you'd ever get excited just to go in Toys R Us because all these toys. That's Pam Oslie. She's sort of like being in Toys R Us. Welcome to the screen. She is a consultant, best-selling author, professional, psychic, intuitive meeting, and aura expert. And she's been on ABC, NBC, the Dr. Oz show, The View. How rad. Seriously, The View. How fun is that? Just wow. Coast to Coast, Hallmark, Gaia with Lisa Garr. That's a fabulous show. If anybody has never seen Lisa Garr on Gaia, you need to check that out. She's an amazing person. But I think one of my favorite things I've seen is your TED Talk, because your TED Talk is just expanding consciousness, going beyond what we see with our natural eyes. And that's what you are. You are our seer beyond what we can see. And I just am so grateful for you. Welcome to Cuppa Grata. You're my gratitude person today.
Hey, Debbie, thanks for having me on your show. I love it.
I'm stoked. I'm stoked. So we're gonna take a dive in. I just want to talk a little bit about how that you got into this very short, brief. How did you get into quantum science and physics, and how did this happen? How did you start seeing auras?
Just briefly, huh? Well, a long time ago, like 100 years ago, it feels like that way. I've always been into consciousness and figuring out who we are and what we're capable of doing. I don't like boundaries. I'm sure a lot of people listening, just like, we don't like being told what to do. So if someone tells me I can't do something, I want to do it. So I started reading quantum physics things in the 70s, Seth books, things like that. And then one night I went, and I was working regular, anyway, jobs. I was working. I was running concert facilities and things like that. I went to hear a psychic speak one night, a shaman from England, and I walked into the room. He was going to be doing channeling and readings, and I walked into the room and he said, "You up here, you know how to do this." I was like, "What? What? No, 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 no! I don't know what you're talking about. I came here to hear you speak." And he pulled me up in front of the room that night and said, "I want you to start telling people what you see about them." So I found, Debbie, that I could see things about people I'd never met before. I knew one woman was pregnant. She didn't know she was pregnant. I actually saw the spirit of a little girl standing around her. I'd never seen that before in my life. So wait, I can't hear you. You're muted.
Well, that was lovely. So
Yeah.
apparently, I wasn't supposed to ask and interrupt you. I was just curious when you were seeing that. What did that seem like to you? Was it a holographic type of a sort of just a what was that like? Something you'd see in our imagination, kind of like that?
Yeah, well, when I saw the spirit of the little girl, yeah, it was kind of like an image. I don't know how to. It was almost like a transparent image, um,
Yeah.
essence of a little girl
Mhm. Mhm.
standing there. And the woman didn't even know she was pregnant. She went to the doctor, found out she was pregnant. She had a little girl. So, and then with everybody else, I would get these images in my head. Like I knew one woman was having problems with an old green car. I kept seeing this old green car in my mind, in my consciousness. And that's what was going on with her. She was having problems with her neighbor's old green car that she had borrowed, and that kind of stuff. So I saw images. I got a sense of things. There was something odd, Debbie. It's like I would look at somebody and I would know things about them as if they had already told me that, as if I'd already known them and they had shared something with me. So that was interesting. Sorry, the sun's coming in my upper window right now. At some point, the sun will move, but being a little blasted out here. Anyway, so I started out doing that, knowing things about people. And all my friends found out and they wanted readings. Tell me what you see. Tell me, And,
I bet.
and then a year after I started doing that, I met a woman who could see auras. She had synesthesia. People know
Mm.
what that is. It's like you cross things, like you can hear colors, or you can taste sound, or you can,
Oh, I've never heard of this before. What is
oh,
this?
synesthesia. There are people out there that have synesthesia. It's like that they see numbers, but it has a color to it, or the food that they taste has a sound to it. They cross modalities.
How
Oh yeah, look
interesting.
it up. It's really
Yeah.
interesting. Synesthesia.
Okay.
Anyway, she could see auras, and she thought everyone could. It wasn't until she was in her 40s, late 40s, that she found out no one else was seeing auras. Um, and so I brought her to Santa Barbara, which is where I live, and would do workshops hosting her. And I found out that what she was seeing about the colors and what that meant to her around people matched with what I was picking up psychically about people. So then I went, oh, that's a blue. Oh, that's a violet. Oh, that's a yellow. Oh, no wonder I kept getting this similarity between people. It's like there was a personality type that I kept picking up psychically about people. So after working with her, hosting her for workshops, I developed the ability to sense them. And then within a year, I developed the ability to be able to see them, feel them, and sense them. So that's basically how I got started. And people wanted to know
Mm.
more. So I finally wrote a book about what I saw. And over the years of doing it, Debbie, I found way more information out than what she ever told me. It's like, wow, she didn't tell me violets are like that. Oh my gosh. So working with people, I gained more and more information by tuning into them psychically. So, and it's something we all have. We all have these abilities. It's in, if I can do it, that means everyone can do it. Some
I
people.
love you for saying that. I want to appreciate you right now for sharing this story and this journey, because As I'm sitting here and see, Make and Michael, you can attest to this, who's watching with us right now, and others that are watching with us right now. Let's all just give some huge gratitude to Pam, because Pam, you are the way shower. You have shown us, you have literally given us a blueprint. This is what's so exciting. In fact, right now across the screen, there is auracolors.com. There's a free aura color test. Thank you. Thank you for giving her some gratitude. Rock on. You guys are, I love you. I love you. And why are we doing that? Because Pam, we're going to take a dive into quantum physics. We're going to take a deep dive into aura colors. We'll go into quantum physics after this. But let's get into aura colors because y'all are about to be blown away. I did mine yesterday. I know what my test results are. Pam and I have not spoken about this whatsoever, but I really, we're going to talk about why auras are important and how can you use them to be a better version of yourself tomorrow than you are right now, or to be a better version of yourself today, or however you want to word that. So, Pam, you are a fascinating human. I'm not sure you're human, actually. I'm going to just tell you. You're like we're all just a little alienish. It's really cool. That's to be funny. You just I am almost speechless, and I am never speechless. So, auras, talk to me. Why is it important? What auras do you think I am?
Well, first of all, the colors are not always true on these like Zooms and Skypes and things like that. What color? Let me just compare what I'm seeing. What color eyes do you have?
Blue.
Okay. So Debbie, you and I have the same colors. You were actually born blue and yellow, and you've added a lot of violet. So if you tested high on the violet and the yellow, did you test high on those two
Yep.
colors? Yeah, because those are the biggest colors around you. When you were younger, you had more blue around you, and blues are very intuitive and sensitive and emotional, and blues value helping people and making a difference and love and relationship. But boy, you have a lot of yellow and violet around you right now, and those are more, yellows are big kids at heart, playful, creative, pleasers, but stubborn too. And violets need to help the masses. They need to reach the masses. They need to make a huge difference on the planet. They want to expand the consciousness. They want to improve the quality of life here for people. And they're more of the expansive, like, I need to know what else is the truth. I need to go beyond the boundaries. So that's why you tested as the yellow violet, didn't you?
I sure did. I
Yeah.
absolutely did. My husband is watching Joe. Are these things true? I want to tell you that right now I'm taking a peace studies class actually in college, and we work with Peace 2030.Earth. We are really into, that's why Women Rising, we had you on Women Rising, and that's why we had you on Women Rising. That's what it's for. It's to expand the consciousness for women and to bring the divine feminine in. Every single thing, and I have my audience here. Y'all know that's true. What's up? You know this. So now that I have this information, how do we integrate that information we're receiving about our aura to help us in this human existence?
Okay, so let me explain to people that what an aura is, just in case, and you probably have a very advanced group, but it's an energy field that radiates off of everything. And basically, we're made of energy, right? Everything's energy. E=mc². It's like mass and energy are interchangeable. We're made of energy. That's quantum physics. So it makes sense that we're radiating energy. And even if people can't see it, we've all felt it. That's why you can meet somebody for the first time and feel instantly comfortable with them, and you're fine standing close to them. And other people, you just go, whoa, I don't even want to be in the same room with them. You're feeling their aura, their energy. And so the benefit, I talk to people about the aura colors now. What I see, and other people out there see the same thing I do, and other people see differently. So if somebody says, no, you've got a pink aura and a gold aura, it doesn't mean they're wrong, I'm wrong, or whatever. It's that we're having a different experience, but the interpretation should still fit you. So what I see are lots of different bands out from people. And the one or two bands of colors that are closest to your body are your life colors. Those are the two colors that reveal what you came here to do and be. Your mission, your theme, your life theme, your personality style, careers you're going to be drawn to and fulfilled in, relationship styles, potential health issues, how you are with money. It's all revealed in those life colors. I feel honestly, Debbie, that before we came here, we wanted to come here. We chose a theme, we chose a mission, we have a purpose, we have a cause, and we left breadcrumbs behind just in case we got to this planet and got lost. So we left lots of hints behind. So we, astrology, numerology, iridology, palmistry, auras, it's all revealed in that to help us remember who we are, not to limit us, not to trap us or box us in and say, this is who you are, you have no free will, because I'm a big proponent of free will. You and I both have yellow in our aura, and we yellows don't like being told what to do. So, and violets, you see how fast I'm talking with you? That's because you have you're violet. Violets go 150, and then I got to talk really fast so violets don't get bored. Anyway, the two colors closest to your body reveal who you are. So the outer bands, just because if people go, well, I thought the aura changes all the time. In my perspective of the aura, the outer bands change all the time, depending on what's going on with you at the time. So if somebody's angry, I see red flaring up in the aura, but that doesn't always stay. That's different than a red life color. A red life color is a personality type. So when people understand what their two main, most people have two, some people only have one, and some people like you have added a third color. And by the way, you added that violet in pretty young. Okay. And violets always feel like they're a little bit different than everyone else. And blues always feel like they want to be loved and fit in and have friends. But violets are like, wait, something else is going on with me. So it's helpful for people to know what their colors are because it validates who they are. It gives you permission to be who you are, number one. And number two, it helps us understand each other. Instead of running around the planet going, why can't you think more like me? Why can't you be more like me? You understand what somebody else's aura colors are. You go, oh, that's a crystal. You're a crystal. Okay, I get it. Oh, you're a tan. Okay, I get it. Oh, you're a green. I understand what's important to greens. I understand what you came here to do. So let's just understand further.
I love this. I want to shout out at the audience. Look, right here, auracolors.com. There's a free aura test. The first person who can come back and tell me who took the test and what the result was, maybe Pam would be open to sharing what that means briefly. So the first person, so I'm watching here, whoever goes over to the website, don't leave us. She's taking it now. See, Michael, I'm taking it now. You better be. You know what? Seriously, this stuff is fascinating. What's even better is there is a quantum course that I've just joined, which is, we're going to talk about that in a minute. I'm so excited about. Wow, auras. What I love is, I love how that you have explained how this works. It just makes sense. I'm in so much alignment with this. I love how there's this core. So like our auras hold our core values as a human, our personalities. That's just absolutely, that's remarkable. So let's see. How did your auras serve you?
Understanding that I was a blue explain. Let me tell people real quick first. There are 14, I see 14 different aura colors. Okay. And there are the physical colors, red, orange, magenta, and yellow. Those are the colors that get what's real through their physical bodies. I see 4 different mental colors, and those are the colors that get what's real or process life mostly analytically, logically in their heads. 3 to 4 different kinds of tans and green. And then there are the spiritual emotional colors, blue, violet, indigo, crystal, and lavender. Understanding that I had blue and yellow with violet validated why I felt the way I did about relationships, why I understood why I was so emotional. We blues can watch commercials and tear up. Blues can cry at everything, okay? You get a group of people in a room and somebody starts crying, all the blues in the room will start crying with them, okay? So that helped me understand my relationship issues by understanding the blue. It helped me understand the conflict I was having between being a blue who values relationship, love, commitment, home, and my yellows like our freedom. We're spunky, spontaneous, little, I want my freedom. Yellows can actually have a fear of commitment and playful and humor and creative and more free-spirited. So it helped me understand why my blue kept picking guys that weren't available, which is a blue thing to do. Blues will pick guys, that they want to nurture, and yellows, it's like, no, I want a playmate, and you don't trap me. And so I would run away. If they didn't run away, I would. So it helped me understand that. And then the fact that I added violet, like you did, that explained my desire to really help the masses, to want to write books and be on media, and like what you're doing, really make big change out there, and to expand the higher consciousness, because blues can be homebodies, and violets are like I'm getting ready to go travel. Violets like to travel. So instead of going, oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? All these conflicting things in there, because blues like home and violets like to go travel. Blues just want one-on-one. Violets have to reach the masses. So it helped me understand why I had all three of those things going on. And so when people take the free quiz, I've got free videos on there. I've got free written material. I've got books. I've got tons of courses on it. I show what it's like when your color is in power, meaning you're living your full potential. You're living the positive qualities of that color, and what it's like to be out of power, or the negative qualities of those aura colors. And I show you how to get, if you're out of power, out of balance, each one of the aura colors has a different way of getting into balance. What works for a yellow doesn't work for a green. What works for a tan doesn't work for a violet. There's different modalities, different things we need to do. Like violets need to meditate. They have to meditate. They have to have alone time. And tans are more logical and analytical, and yellows have a hard time sitting still long enough to meditate. So they need to go out into nature. They need to exercise. They need to connect with nature, because they can't sit still long enough. Violets, do you understand? So once you go,
I do.
The best form of meditation is going to be maybe walking out with the trees, walking outside in nature. That's a form of meditation for a yellow. They can't sit still. Yellows are the number one color that gets accused of being ADD or ADHD, because they get the variety.
I love this, because I love that you are tapping into that eccentric part of me. I'm an Aquarius with a Libra moon as well. Now I'm curious, like how the aura is kind of fitting into. Have you noticed like your aura kind of matches your astrological as well?
Yeah, and it should. That's why I said we left breadcrumbs behind in case we
That's
got
so
at it and went, wait, everybody's telling me things different than what I know, and then we get lost. So yeah, we've got lots of options to remind us who we are and what we chose to do here. And I believe, me personally, because I'm a big free will advocate, that aura colors and astrology and numerology, they don't run you. They reflect back what you're choosing and what you have chosen when you came here and what you're currently choosing. You can change anything. You have free will.
And that's a really good segue. Beautiful, beautiful Pam, because we're going to talk about quantum jumping, quantum everything, quantum. I actually want to jump right into. I'm going to let you explain what exactly quantum physics is. I've been watching your TED Talk, so I'm excited about this. But my question has to do with time. Whenever I need time, I slow time down. I literally say, slow down, time, slow down. Like, that's it. Now, here's the thing. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing, but I know it works, Pam, no matter what. So I want to dig right into time as soon as you can help us understand what we're doing.
Okay, well, first of all, we don't always have to understand how this works. Just like I can flip a switch and turn the lights on. I have no clue how that works. I really don't. Or my cell phone. I don't understand how I can talk my voice in my cell phone and I can call my sister in Europe and it shows up in her phone. How did that happen? It's like little bits of information. So I don't know that we always have to understand why it works or how it works, just be able to use it. So people think that quantum physics is just a measure of small particles but it's not. It's way beyond that. Bottom line of what quantum physics is saying is that everything is energy. And now they're really exploring consciousness. And they're proving that consciousness, basically, they think it just affects reality. You can go look at the double slit experiment. That's a big one to show how they went, wow, our consciousness just affected something going from a wave into a particle just by observing.
Yeah, actually, if you could explain what that was, there was a proton you were explaining, but if you could really quickly, this is fascinating.
Yeah. they did, it's called the double slit experiment. You can go on YouTube, actually go check out Dr. Quantum's explanation of the double slit experiment, because it's animated and it's really easy to understand and cool. They took a partition and they had one slit through it, and they would shoot one photon at a time through it. And on the background behind the partition, of course, one line of light would show up where the photons of light would go through that one slit. Then they put two slits on the partition, and they shot one photon, one particle of light through at one time, right? One particle, one particle. So what they expected to see on the wall on the other side of the partition was two strips of light, where the photons would either go through this slit or this slit, the one on the left, the one on the right. That you would expect to see two slits of light on the background. They found that's not what they found. What they found was the interference pattern. So what that means is those photons were going through both slits at the same time. So they had gone into what they call superposition, or you can call it a wave. It went into a wave and went through both partitions at the same time, which means if you put water, like if you do water through it, they interfere on the other side. The ripples interfere with each other and they create what's called an interference pattern. So dark light, dark light, dark light. And they went, how's that possible? We just shot one photon through. So they discovered that it had split, it had gone into a wave, superposition. So they went, well, we got to figure out why it's doing that. How is it doing that and when? And so what they did was they observed it. They observed to see when it happened, but they noticed when they observed it that it didn't go into superposition. It didn't turn into a wave. It stayed as a particle. They went, oh my gosh, the observer's affecting this. So they put cameras there instead, thinking that the people were affecting it. They put cameras there instead. Same thing. As soon as it was being observed, there's consciousness there, obviously. As soon as it was being observed, it behaved itself and went through as a particle instead of as a wave. So what they've discovered is that our consciousness is affecting reality. What they're going to find out is that our consciousness is actually creating reality. It's creating our experience. And Einstein didn't like that, by the way, because all the quantum physicists, Max Planck and Schrodinger and Heisenberg, they basically said that the moon doesn't exist unless there's an observer. And Einstein didn't like that. He goes, no, I want to believe that the moon exists, whether I'm looking at it or not. And they go, sorry, can't prove that. So what's cool is when they were doing the double slit experiment, Debbie, they thought, well, okay, so basically an observer collapsed the wave. In other words, it was split up. It collapsed all the particles into one particle and went through. But now what they're saying is they don't think that it collapsed it. They think it split and there's parallel universes, that all those multi-positions still exist. It's just the observer focused and they're only observing one particle, but still all the others in superposition, which means they're all in all places, all at the, superposition, they're in all places at once, that they still exist, but we only focus on one. So we don't know that the others exist, which is why now they have evidence that there are parallel universes.
And here we go. And I don't even want to, I am sitting here saying, I have so many questions going through my brain, I can't keep up with them. Parallel universes. How many versions of us, how many versions of you or me are there?
The answer is infinite. We've been told that we are souls and that we are infinite, okay? Which means infinite means unlimited infinity. There are versions of us in physical form, infinite in physical form, and also infinite versions of ourselves where we're not physical. We're energy, we're consciousness, we're souls. We have no limits, which means we can go back in time. I'll tell you how bizarre this is. And if people want to research more, they can research David Deutsch, like German. Mm-hmm. He's one of the world famous experts on quantum, on parallel universes. I got to meet with him in London one-on-one for hours. I got to sit with him, and I asked him questions he couldn't even
Oh, you
answer.
know, was that amazing or what?
Oh yeah. He couldn't answer some of the things that I
I
asked.
bet. Oh, really?
Yeah,
So
yeah. So
taking
anyway,
it.
he
Hmm,
doesn't believe that. So basically, let me say this. What they're saying is, and remember, a lot of things that sounded like science fiction before are now science fact, like sliding doors
totally.
and space travel and airplanes and the cell
Hello,
phone.
Jetsons.
Yeah, that was considered science fiction. It's now science fact. It's the same thing with this. And if people want to be blown away, Debbie, I'm going to recommend they go onto YouTube and just Google consciousness and quantum physics and see how many documentaries there are on this subject. They're really into consciousness now. Anyway,
I want to jump in and recommend that everybody go and join your quantum course that you have, because the fact of the matter is, in this course, which I joined yesterday, um, I am going to learn how to bend forks. I'm going to learn how to parallel jump. I'm jump timelines. I'm going to learn all kinds of stuff. I'm going to learn how to manipulate this energy on this planet more than I already do. Master that. If y'all want to go with me, I'm going to put the link in the chat. Anyway, I had to jump in because that's what I recommend. You are teaching us how to do this. Y'all catch this. This isn't just talking. There's an actual course right now that you can learn. I'm so excited. It's redonkulous. So, because we're going to get into the science fact is here, it's in the house. Now we're going to take a deeper dive into that. You told a story. You told a story on your TED Talk. You were talking about you've helped save a little girl's life out of that was from an airplane. You found bodies. They've had that are missing. You have tapped into that consciousness. You were able to find them. But my favorite story was about the man that was just like telling you, yeah, no, I'm not into you. What's up? That was my favorite. Can you tell that story when you're
that is
ready?
when I discovered how to do parallel universes. So basically, they are real things. You can use them. They said, so for example, they're saying that there's a you, Debbie, that years ago never got married. You chose to get married. You chose not to get married. Their quantum physicists are saying that every time you make a choice, there's an actual you that splits off into another universe that's having the other choice that you didn't, having the other experience that you didn't choose. Okay. So my story was years ago, I fell in love with this guy, musician. As soon as I saw him, I went, oh my gosh, this is the guy. This is who I'm supposed to be with, right? He wanted nothing to do with me, doesn't like blondes, didn't want a commitment, didn't want relationship. Went, nope, not attracted to you, not going to be there, blah, 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 blah. And I live in Santa Barbara, the West Coast, California. He actually moved to the East Coast to be in a band. He's a musician, be in a band, and said, want nothing to do with you, leave me alone, blah, blah. And so I was devastated. And then I started reading about parallel universes. And I went, oh, wait a second. Anytime we discover something like aerodynamics or the world's not flat, it gives us more freedom. So I went, because aerodynamics, now we can fly, right? We don't have to walk across the country. Anyway, so I went, all right, if parallel universes are a real thing, that means we should be able to use them to change our lives. So what I noticed is, I'm going to call it universe number 1. I noticed in that universe, I had a belief that I wasn't lovable and that no one was going to want me and that this guy wasn't going to want me anyway, blah, blah, blah. I noticed that those were my beliefs in universe number 1. So what I did was, I did this meditation. I got very deep into it, Debbie, and I imagined, because I'm very visual, going into like parting a membrane and going into universe number 2 to see what that was like. And in universe number 2, I saw him on the East Coast. He was still with the band. He was happy there, blah, blah. And I went, oh, I would feel guilty, making him come back to the West Coast because he's very happy. So I'm not going to stay in this universe. I kept going into different universes to cut to the chase. I went into universe number 5, and Debbie, I felt it was a real universe. I was sitting in the sun. I felt the grass. I felt the sun on my body. I smelled the air. I knew it was just as real as the universe number 1 that I had just left. I felt it. And in that universe, I shifted my beliefs. It went along with that belief. That's how we shift into parallel universes. You change your belief, you use your imagination. In that universe, I felt lovable. I felt like he missed me. I saw in that universe, I saw him. I didn't create it. I saw him. Well, on some level, I created it. But in that universe, I saw him giving notice to the band to come back to Santa Barbara. I saw him breaking up with whatever girl he was seeing. He was seeing somebody at the time. She was too young. They weren't working out. I saw him going to Iowa to see his meditating friends, then going to LA to see his rock and roll friends, and then coming back to Santa Barbara to be with me, right? I saw it clear as day. I saw it as if I'm talking to you. It was very real. And I felt lovable. I had shifted my energy, which is how we change realities. And 2 years, he had been gone for 2 years, by the way, by the time I did this. 2 years he had been gone and not had contact or anything. In that universe, I knew he loved me. So I called him. Why not? He was in love with me. It's not like I wasn't stalking him. Okay. I called him up just to get, hey, why not? He's in love with me. So I called him up. Hey, how you doing? He goes, 2 weeks ago, I gave notice to the band. I was seeing this girl. We're not seeing each other anymore. I'm going to go to Iowa. I'm going to go to LA. I'm coming back to Santa Barbara. We have been together now for 39 years. Because I changed realities. Now, here's the cool thing, Debbie. Just so
I'm just 39 years.
39.
Okay, you
Now,
are a rock star.
in this, in universe number one, all my girlfriends were complaining. They were single. They couldn't find good men. They wanted to be married. They wanted to have kids. In universe one, when I shifted into universe five, the entire the whole history of my life was different. All my girlfriends were married, engaged, and or having kids. And at that point, I wanted to walk up to all of them and go, you know what? You're in a universe where you're lonely and complaining about it. But 39 years ago, I didn't feel like I could say that to them because I thought they'd think I was crazy. But everything in that universe, the majority of it had shifted also.
Well, you're right. 39 years ago, probably that is true. You know, I'm sure back in the day, yeah, we were not allowed to talk about those such things. I'm fascinated. 39 years.
Yeah.
And you now, what does he think of this? What does he think of quantum physics?
He's on board with me. We don't talk about it. He doesn't want me doing psychic readings on him. He doesn't want to do any of that. He accepts what I do. We love each other very much. We hang out, we have fun. I go to his rock and roll concerts. He actually, when I do workshops, he's in the back running the sound. And so he's right there while I'm telling the story. And I go, and he's right back there in the back of the room. And everyone looks at him, he just waves. He's okay with it. He's happy.
I think that's awesome. I personally think that that's fabulous because he's heard this story, and I'm curious. Like that had to have made him smile. Well, I mean, come on. If you feel you knew, you were like, you're who, that's it. I know what I want, and that's just such a heartwarming experience, though.
I want people to know I didn't have to change him over here. I didn't stalk him. I didn't try to change him over here. I would have had to overcome things and work really hard. All I had to do was change me and my belief and my energy. And I went into a universe where we were already in love and together. And that's what I want people to know. We get very attached to our stories. We get very attached to our dramas, our stories, our emotions, and we think that's the only reality. That's the problem is most people think there's only one universe, and there's not. There's an infinite number of universes. So I didn't have to overcome anything. I just dropped that story. I dropped believing in that universe, and I shifted into a parallel universe that I liked better, that I believed in, that I resonated with, that was making me happy. And that was the real one for me. So do you understand? I didn't have to work on something. Some people go, oh, I got to work really hard to make money. I got to work really hard to make things speed up or slow down. No, it's as simple as using your imagination, your emotions, your feelings, and your beliefs. That's what shifts you. That's what changes the energy. They talk about that basically in law of attraction.
Yeah.
An energy. It is an energy. And I want to explain it this way. So that's easy for people, Debbie. It's like changing the channel on your radio or on your TV set. Okay. You don't like a song that's playing, you change the channel. It's set to a different frequency. You don't like a movie you're watching on TV, you change it. We know we can do that with TV, and that's all it is. Parallel universes are just a different frequency. So I know how to change the channel. And I think our technology, Debbie, is showing us what we're capable of doing. It's showing us
You're on point. Yeah,
it's
you're on point here.
frequency. You understand that?
It is. I understand. Yeah, that's like AM radio going, trying to get a. Oh, it's just change. Why? So.
And Debbie, look, you're in a room right now with lots of different radio shows broadcasting around you. They're all broadcasting around you, but you don't know that because you're not tuned into them. If you went to your radio and turned it on to 101, you'd start hearing the music, and that would become your reality, that whatever's playing on 101. You change the frequency and go to 91, and now you're going to hear the talk that's going on. But the radio waves of 101 are still around you, just like parallel universes. They're right here. They're in the same environment, just a different frequency. Do you understand? So if you change to 99 now you're going to hear the show that's coming off of that. That becomes your reality. But they both still exist around you. You're just not tuned into the other one.
Okay. I'm understanding this. I've used the law of appreciation, the law of gratitude to shift, but this is still doing that, but because it's that belief. I'm choosing to see it, but this is actually this is deeper. There's more of an intention with this.
It changes your frequency.
Just completely.
Emotions are energy in motion. They're a frequency. When you're really sad, how your whole body can feel really heavy or pain or dense, or you're really excited, how your energy goes up, your body feels lighter. It's actually a frequency. It's a literal frequency of energy.
So easy peasy lemon squeezy. What the hey? It's like, it's just, you explain this, and audience, tell me if this isn't true. Does this not make sense to you? How easy is this? We have really been complicating it for ourselves, haven't we?
Yeah. Well, can you imagine people believing that there's no flight and yet they have to walk across the country because they don't know about aerodynamics? Can you imagine people that, won't get on a plane? There are a lot of people that, because they're too afraid. I'm still in awe. I don't understand how they get something that weighs hundreds of tons with people in it, 200 people in a plane. How are they getting that up in the air? It's like, well, it's aerodynamics. I still don't understand how it works, but we're doing it. So this is just it's our consciousness technology. It's our consciousness. That's why Einstein said imagination is more important than knowledge, because what we think we know limits us. Our imagination is what frees us up to do things like this. And it's amazing how quickly we can change things. I do it over and over. I've changed the weather. We've brought rain to California doing that. We've diverted hurricanes by changing the picture. Scientists are actually saying there's a parallel universe where the Germans won World War II and we're all speaking German. It's like they're literally saying that. And David Deutsch is even saying you can die in one universe but still be alive in a whole bunch of others, which is, by the way, when people cross over, when they do die, they don't die. They don't cease to exist. They're in another frequency, which is why I can talk to them. I can tune into them. Anyone can. I can tune into them and talk to them because they're just in another frequency. Their souls still exist. Their consciousness still exists, which is why I can locate people. It's non-local mind. Non-local mind. We don't have our minds in our brains, you guys. Our souls are very expansive and they're infinite. And so that's why I can locate missing persons. I don't like doing it, by the way, so I don't want people calling me to ask me to help them find missing persons. It's very emotional. So I don't like it.
Yeah, I bet.
I can go in my consciousness to where the person is. That the girl that you said, she survived the plane crash.
Yeah.
The small plane, 3 other people on the plane died, but I knew she was alive because I could see her. I could talk to her, and they found the plane, and she was the one that was still alive because my consciousness is non-local. We're expansive. We're infinite beings, so we can go into parallel universes. We can play with time. We can create anything we want. We can talk to people telepathically. That's what I talk about, and that's what I teach people to do in my Quantum Leap course.
Speaking of the Quantum Leap course, guys, I'm going to put it in here again. There is the link one more time. I did see our winner of going and taking the test. Thank you. I see you there. But we're going to talk. We're going to get to your aura colors here in just a moment, Oana. This is fascinating. Okay, so time. I tell time. I just slow time down all the time. It's just I kind of go. It just listens to me. Not my naivety. I'm sitting here just in awe over you. Show you. It's like this big light went. Pshing, easy peasy lemon squeezy. How much have you been complicating this for yourself?
The key is to love our stories. That's the key. Believe in something else that, and seriously, we love being entertained. We love having experiences, which is why we have so many TV stations now and movies and websites. It's like, oh my gosh. But letting go of a story can be very challenging to people out of fear, out of the emotional addiction to it. But it's basically just drop the story and tell a different story. It's like changing the channel on your TV set.
Frequency. This is insane. So time. Tell me the story, because you have a story for me regarding time.
Yeah. First of all, time is not a real thing. We made it up for this planet so that we can have experiences here in time, because that's how we experience it. So, for example, if you want to watch a movie, I go, okay, here's the spool. Here's the whole reel of that movie right here. Look, here's the whole movie right here. You're going to go, whoa, that doesn't help me experience this movie. So what we do is we put it through the projector, which is one frame at a time, but they go through so fast that we have the experience of time. Right. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
So
that's rad.
So anyway, so time is not a real thing. Again, it's our consciousness. We can speed it up. We can slow it down. We can quantum leap. We can do all kinds of stuff because time is just, it's in our imagination. It's our consciousness making it up. So I went down to LA once with a bunch of my friends to see a Bruce Springsteen concert. And his concerts are really long. And it was 2 hours away from us, right? I was the driver. So we got out at midnight and I was like, oh my gosh, everybody was exhausted. I was driving. So I drove us home and I went, oh, there's no way I'm going to take 2 hours to drive home. I'll never make it. I have to full time. I have to make this faster. Debbie, I'm not kidding you. Everybody else went to sleep in the car. 15 minutes later. Now the clock said 2 minutes, but I was only driving for 15 minutes and we were home. And people woke up and went, wow, I must have really been out. I thought we just got in the car. So it's like the clock said it was 2 hours, but the experience, literally, I felt like I was driving for 15 minutes.
I want to back that up. I'm going to back it up right now. I do this all the time in my life, all the time. Joe, if you're watching, you know that this is true, and because I've experienced anybody else out there ever play with time. All I do is just say, slow down, would you? And it slows down. I do this all the time when I'm getting ready for the shows. Mm-hmm. I'll have 5 minutes to, and it feels like 45. So his joke with me is, I'll say, what time is it? He goes, well, you've got 2 minutes. So you got time to go to the store, come back, take a shower. And
yep.
that was sweet. So if anybody, listen, here's what I'm excited about. And this is why I joined the quantum course right now. Listen, first off, when I opened it up, the thing I went, this is actually a conference you did. This is you. I'm like, oh, this isn't just you sitting in front of the screen. This is literally, she's working with other people in this, and it is freaking rad. And it's like 7 to 8 hours worth of stuff and all this. And I'm going to learn how to bend some forks. And I like how you said it's not really that useful except to show that you can do it. But there's people,
reality.
But there's people that are like, they have all of their testimonies and stuff, and they're talking about their bent forks and spoons, and I'm like, I'm not there yet, but it's like a kid in a candy shop. I'm going to highly encourage you guys to come take this with me. It's not even expensive. Seriously, you need to go do it just because it's like it's like on sale right now for $150. I mean, all you get to learn so much stuff, and I'm not getting paid for this, y'all. So I'm telling you, I just did this yesterday. So
It's an experiential course. It's an experiential.
thank you.
I'm going to teach you how to be use non-local mind, psychic abilities, intuition, everything from the lower end of just trusting your intuition, all the way over to bending spoons, so it shows that physical matter is not what we thought it was, to talking to people on the other side, to parallel universes. And it's we do meditations. I explain the quantum physics behind all of it, and you'll get to be in the class with all these other people doing it too. What I've noticed, Debbie, is when I learned how to bend a spoon, right?
Yeah.
I was in a workshop, and it was an aerodynamics engineer that was teaching us how to do this, right? And so we're supposed to just sit there and, okay, bend, 15, 20 minutes in, nothing's happening. Finally, somebody in the back of the room went, oh my gosh, we looked and her spoon was bending over. And as soon as hers did that, we could bend ours. So it's almost like once you see that other people can do it, it makes it more real, because sometimes that's what we need. When you're in this group consciousness, like, wow, other people are doing it, and then you can do it.
I'm so excited.
The ones that had the hardest time bending the spoons were the men, because they kept just trying to do it physically, and you can't bend a spoon that way. Not the ones we had. They were strong spoons.
I'm no, I this is so much fun. If you can bend a spoon, what other things in your reality can you bend? So I want to ask a question about people with illness, people that have cancer, people that would this explain why sometimes we see people suddenly just have a spontaneous healing out of nowhere that they've shifted frequency.
They changed the channel. They changed their beliefs. Yep. That's what I believe. Anita Morjani's got a great story. I mean, she actually died of cancer and came back with no cancer in her body. That just shows us we don't know everything we think we do about physical reality. And that's why I'm so blown away by quantum physics, because quantum physics is saying there's nothing physical to who we are. There's nothing physical. They can't even figure out how we're sitting on chairs, right? Because it's all energy. They can't even find anything solid to matter.
That makes complete sense. Psychics, what's interesting about psychics, and we all have this ability, and I love how that you already have clarified that. But I've always felt like if they tell you that they see this reality, that's the reality you believe is going to happen, and that's going to happen, and that's why we think that they're telling us facts. But really, there's so many different possibilities that anything could be true.
That's why when I've been doing my readings, and again, I've been doing them for 37 years. Well, maybe Bo and I've been together for, I said 39 years, right? Not 49, 39. Okay, she losing track of time.
You're not, well, yeah, the 39 is already getting a little amazing to me.
Yeah. So that's why when I have done readings, I tell people they have free will. And what I can see is the path that they're creating for themselves right now. I can see the future they're creating. Because already, and Einstein talks about the whole general relativity has everything to do with time. Basically, what he said is, even, and this is part of it, it's not the formula, even if you haven't arrived at a lake yet, doesn't mean that lake doesn't exist yet. So I can see people's future, the path they're on right now, based on the beliefs that they're creating their future. It's like being in a helicopter and being above like New York City and going, okay, I see the car you're in. I wouldn't keep on this path right now because there's a traffic jam up there. If you turn right and go over a couple streets, you'll miss the traffic jam. So I can see what path people are on. And I've told people on the path you're on right now, you have so much anger towards your dad. You're headed for breast cancer, and you don't need to do that. You didn't come here to do that. And I had that girl come back to me years later and go, I didn't forgive my dad. I have breast cancer. So now I need you to help me undo that. And we've helped avoid divorces and health issues and all kinds of stuff, because if they change their beliefs, if they change the path they're on, then their whole future changes.
And it's how that we see it. It's what frequency that we tune into. So I love this. I love this. You said relationships. So we can step into a reality where the relationships are thriving.
Yeah.
Where your relationships are expanding.
Yeah. If you're in a bad relationship or single, all you have to do is look at your beliefs about, why are you It's your beliefs. It's your perception even of the other person or the lack of person. So you can shift into a universe just like I did, where I had what I wanted. But I shifted my perception of me, and I shifted my perception of him. My perception of him brought me into that version of him. I didn't change him. Just like, look, if you watch a movie and Tom Hanks is in it, and you're watching one movie with Tom Hanks on it, you got mail, whatever. It's like, okay, I want to watch, and you go change the channel. It's like, oh, now he's in Sleepless in Seattle, whatever the movie was, right? I didn't
Yeah.
change him. He's in both movies.
That's it right there. It's just perspective. It's how how you see it. How do you choose to see it? It's absolutely amazing. We're coming up to the top of the hour, and I want to just appreciate you. I could sit here and talk to you literally all day, just like everybody could. Could you not? And so in order to do that, what you're going to do is go join the course that I popped right here into the chat. Let me know if you're watching it now, you watch it later, and you join the course. Let me know you're doing it at the same time so we can chat about this. This is going to be seriously fun. I'm super excited personally. So we had somebody go over and take the Awana. Awana took the test, and she's a blue violet. And remember, auras. If you missed everything on auras, you're going to have to go back to the very beginning and listen to Pam's explanation of auras and whatnot. So if you don't, this doesn't make sense to you, that's okay. You'll have to watch it again after we're done.
So are you wanting me to talk to her about that, or are you just sharing that? And by the way, this is where the consciousness is going. This is where we're headed with the mass.
I want to, I want to say, they're agreeing with you 100%. That this is what they're seeing, that this is where we're headed. And I agree with you too. That's where my gratitude comes in, because you chose to say the sacred yes, show up and be a way shower on the planet for all of us and provide a blueprint, Pam. That's extraordinary. The work you've dedicated your life to this, and I can't thank you enough for doing that, for me to give me this information, because now I can learn and do and be an even grander, greater version of me, because there's always a greater, grander version.
There's no boundaries. There's no boundaries. With you said her name is Awana?
Awana. Mm-hmm.
Can you get her hair and eye color for me real quick? Is it dark hair, brown eyes, what? Blue eyes? What?
Awana, pop that in, darling, if you don't mind. So Jody says this is just awesome, and that it set the pulse, and thank you, Pam. And I think
hey, thank you guys for listening. Thanks for wanting to play at this level, because that's where we're going. Can you imagine the first time somebody came back and said, hey guys, the world's round? And people are like, no, I'm not buying that. I'm not going to fall off the edge of the earth and be eaten by, it's like at some point, then the masses finally catch up with it and go, oh yeah, the earth's round. At least most
kind of. Well, it's sort of it's the 100th monkey. We're the 100th monkey. I might be the 100th monkey, You might be the 100th monkey. We might all be the 100th monkey. And the 100th monkey, go and look it up and Google it to see what that means. Please, because this is about social change all over. The tipping point. Who is the tipping point? We don't really know. But then again, that doesn't really matter anymore, because now we can shift realities anyway. So who cares? Oh my God!
We don't have to go save the planet. It doesn't need saving. We just need to shift to a different reality and watch how it all changes.
Well, hot diggity damn. Oh my God.
But notice what stories you might be attached to, you guys, or emotions that you're attached to. Not bad. You're just having an experience. And when you're done with that experience, get the juice out of it. When you're over that experience because you're bored or you're not happy with it, you have free will to change it.
Beautiful. Okay. So, Awana, brown hair, brown eyes, sometimes in the summer, also green.
Okay. By the way, she's also got a little bit of yellow in her aura too, and that got shut down when she was little. She was told she wasn't supposed to be that sensitive, that creative, or that energetic. So now she's testing as the blue violet. But there's a little bit of yellow in there. I can feel it with her. So like I said, she got raised not to be that yellow. She was told to behave herself and stop being like that, more curious and sensitive. Anyway, Blues, it's all about love and helping people. I typically see them being, see, I can feel her yellow. I typically see blues being teachers, counselors, nurses, emotional. They want to be in love. They want to have a relationship. A lot of times blues want to have children. They're very intuitive. They're very emotional. Awana, you've been you're not living your full potential. I can feel that hold back with you. Like you weren't taught that it was okay for you to be who you are. So now the violet is kicking up. I have a feeling she might have been born yellow and violet and added that blue because she was told to be that way. But anyway, the violet's kicking up and the violet wants to make more of a difference. Okay, violets want to like help the masses. They want to be, I either see them getting involved in the arts or the media. They're performers, they're actors, they're writers, they're musicians, or they're teachers and psychologists, they're speakers. They want to do something. See, she's got some fear in there. Or they get involved in causes. Some violets will also get involved in politics and law, but not usually someone who's got blue in their aura, blue and yellow. They don't like politics and law. But what I get with her, and this is a common violet thing, by the way, Debbie, violets need to play bigger, but they don't always know how to get there because violets get accused of being unrealistic dreamers. Because what they see they want to do is, so they go 150, they see so far ahead of what they want to do to help people, but they do what she has done in this lifetime, which is hold back out of fear, or I got to be like everybody else, I should get a regular job. Most violets don't like working for other people. They want to do their own projects, or they want to be humanitarian. And she's got great energy. She's a really beautiful soul. I really like it. I just feel like there's still some insecurities. That's what I'm going to say. And that can come from the blue and the yellow. Both those colors can get insecure and hesitate, and yellows can procrastinate. But that violet's really kicking up with her now. So I want to say to her, go for the violet. Listen to that dreaming. Listen to the vision. Make a difference. Because I can tell you, violets, if you don't go for it, if you don't live as big and as passionate and as compassionate as you can, you get to the end of your life, you will have regrets. You'll go, what was I so afraid of? I wonder what would have happened if I would have done that. Violets have regrets if they don't go for it and live their dreams. And if you violets don't live your dreams, there's no hope for the rest of the people, because violets are the ones that show you can live. They want to inspire, educate, inspire, and empower others. They want to really bring, improve the quality of life for people. And she has that in there. She just needs to be supported and really get there, because she wasn't when she was younger. She wasn't supported to live that way. Does that make sense?
Well, it's making perfect sense for her. She says, I'm honestly trying to find her feet again after losing herself. We have another violet here, one of our darling, beautiful favorite people in this world, Jody, and he's mind blown. He's played with famous bands all over the world. He's done extraordinary stuff. Of course you're a violet, Jody. Of course you are. That just makes complete sense. And Oana says, I've only discovered my mediumship and healing ability, so definitely heading that way. Thank you so much. And I'm going to really seriously, you guys, I just joined the quantum course. We are at the top of the hour. Please go and do it. Please, it's just come learn with me to shift this and make this easier. Easy peasy lemon squeezy style.
Debbie, there's a money back guarantee. They've got 10 days. If they don't like it, they can get their money back.
No joke.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Look, I already like it. I just opened it. I haven't even done it. I just opened it and like looked at the first video and went, this is you in a like a retreat. This is you teaching live. And this is wow. And I will mention I was looking for Pam's where do I book with Pam or reading? She's not doing that. So
I just retired after doing this for 37 years. I stopped doing readings at the end of January 2022 because I'm being called to go to a whole new level now. And I was seeing 6 to 8 people a day, Debbie, for 37 years. So wow. we're all being asked to shift now to a new level. And that's what I'm doing too.
Are you in your training? You do have a training for aura colors. That's for practitioners, correct?
Yeah, there is a practitioner's course too. Yes. And they can go, there's personal aura color course. If you find out you're a yellow and a violet, there's a yellow course, there's a violet course, there's a blue course, there's green. I have created so many resources on that website. Just go to the website. There's free stuff, and there's also more in-depth courses if you want to take them. And you can always get your money back if you don't like them.
There you go. I mean, you can't beat that, seriously. Like I'm standing behind it even. You rock. Pam, thank you beyond measure. beyond the infinite, beyond. There is no beyond. It's just all is. We are all connected, and we are all this beautiful. We're living this beautiful experience together. Thank you for being in my reality today. It's been just extraordinary. You're an amazing, amazing person. Thank you.
Thank you for playing at this level. I really appreciate it. We always have to play. We have to have fun.
Fun's my thing. I don't even know. Like that's such a big part of life. Everybody, I'm going to see you on Saturday on Women Rising. Please join us on Unify Women in Business this week, and please watch all the replays on Spirituality Gone Wild. And we love you. One big announcement. I forgot, we will be part of humanitiesteam.org next month. You will begin to be able to find all of these shows and more in a really super neat place. So, love you.